so honored to get to introduce you to two of the Girl Up community's girl heroes. They have each shown an exceptional dedication to social change and gender equality. And that's why I will be giving the floor to them to share more about what motivates them as youth trying to change the world. Talita Franca is a Brazilian activist and leader of Girl Up Natal. She is a passionate advocate for gender equality and the Free to Menstruate movement. She and Girl Up Brazil have done amazing work advocating for legislation across the country that will bring menstrual products to anyone that needs them. And Tatiana Fahie is an Afro-Latina advocate from the British Virgin Islands dedicated to taking action for gender equality, community development, and climate change, climate justice. She is a Girl Up Teen Advisor co-chair and currently serves as the youth representative on the BVI government's ad hoc economic advisory council to the premier. Tatiana and Talita are truly girl heroes. Tatiana and Talita, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Hi, everyone.
Hi, it's an honor for me to be able to represent Brazil's entire struggle against menstrual poverty.
Well, Talita, I want to start with you. Let's get right into this. So I want to know, we all want to know, what inspired you to advocate for menstrual hygiene and period poverty? And was there a particular event that prompted your advocacy?
Well, menstrual poverty was an unfamiliar term to me, but after I joined Grow Up movement and found out that girls missed school, stopped going out of the house, and stopped working because they didn't have access to pads, it was very shocking. And because despite seeming to be a reality far from us, but it is not. And seeing that Northwest region, which I live in, is one of the regions that suffer most from menstrual poverty, inspired me to bring this movement to my state and also neighboring states. And through the advocacy process, I saw an opportunity to fight against menstrual poverty while engaging girls in my community to do the same. And that's what's happening. I started the process in my state by contacting the deputies, and I was training the girls in my club to join me the meetings with politicians, journalists, interviews, and lectures at schools. And the result was this, that we got the law approved in our state. We expanded the law to several cities and 5 more states in the Northeast. In addition to have done more than 10 interviews with the main Brazilian newspapers and lectures in important universities. So bringing this process to Northeast was essential to break a very big stigma that politics is not a place for girls, and seeing that girls in my club and my community managed to overcome this today and lead campaigns and interviews alone makes me very proud and makes me see the real reason I was inspired to join the advocacy campaign.
Talita, I love that. There is a place for girls everywhere, by the way, right, Tatiana? Like politics, advocacy, education, business, like wherever there are girls, that's the place we should be.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Tatiana, you are a fierce advocate also. So I want to hear about this role that you have with the Premier, the Economic Advisory Council. You know, let's talk about policy and politics, but also how does the economy intertwine with gender equality, and how do these two roles like fit together for you?
That is an amazing question. Thank you so much, Ms. Melissa. And yes, Talita, amazing advocacy work. Honestly, being able to be on such a council, working directly with, the head of the head in our territory has been such a transformative experience, to say the least. In terms of the interconnection between policy and economy and gender equality, I've been able to use my perspective as, a Girl Up founder of Girl Up BVI, an ambassador of the region, Latin American, Caribbean, as well as being a Girl Up teen advisor and now co-chair. And all the experience that I've learned and gained through, the connections with our international sisterhood via those programs have really opened my eyes, especially our book club that we do, our reading club. And so when I go to council meetings, I'm able to give that sort of perspective, as well as using my platform as the head girl at my school, very involved with Rotary, being the immediate past president of the Interact Club of Rotan. All of those different experiences, especially Girl Up, has helped me understand what exactly the disparities between women and men and other genders included, in terms of the gender gap, for example, the gender pay gap. And so what I've been able to do with my role as the first youth representative on this Economic Advisory Council, which is an ad hoc to the British Virgin Islands government, is sort of come up with plans regarding work development. So specifically, we're working on a seminar, which is very similar to the Girl Up pop-up, which was our first event at Girl Up BVI, where we're going to have workshops with different professionals in different fields to help young people, especially like graduates of high school, college graduates, et cetera, to be exposed to the different potential career options there are in the world, so that, you know, we don't have the excuse that, oh, we don't know about it anymore. We know about it. Now it's time to do something.
Yeah, I mean, the connection to the economy is about having jobs and having resources and getting paid equally, you know, for that. So I love that connection. And Tatiana, I also love what you brought into that about the sisterhood and how each of these experiences we are all impacted by, and it changes the way that we advocate. I think that's so important and such a key piece of Girl Up, right?
It's very telling, honestly, of the Girl Up community. And I think I wouldn't be the same youth representative I am today had I not, you know, been so heavily involved with Girl Up.
Well, Talita, I want to hear about more about your experience with Girl Up too. So do you have a memory that stands out? You know, you said you've been interviewed by the media, you're training girls, you're expanding this legislation to more and more states. Like, is there one memory that just helps, you know, center you in your Girl Up work?
Yeah, there was a moment that was very remarkable, which was when we received a request for help from a politician in our state. Angela, who is a Várzea city councilor, was wanting to implement a bill in her city, but was finding a lot of obstacles from the male councilors, who are the majority in politics, to accept our bill and see its importance. And then I and other people from my club made a trip to Várzea and set out several strategies to the project be approved. And we hold a public hearing and talk to people against menstrual poverty in the city. And this trip was one of the most transformative moments to me, because I realized that we are becoming a support network for the topic in our community, even for the politicians. And then after talking to the city councilors, we understood the need to adapt the bill for that community. And we did that on the same day, debating what would be the best way to implement this and what resources should be directed toward the purchase of pads. And at the end of the day, we had our names registered as co-authors of the bill, with your signatures, and it was a very exciting moment that filled me with a lot of pride and made me think about how, with the necessary training and support, girls can go so far and become great world leaders, because it's this leadership potential that I see in the girls in my Girl Up Club, the Girl Up Natal, and that is Trick just emphasize.
Yeah. Talita, that is amazing. I mean, talk about leaders of today. The leaders that are leading today called you and said, how do we do this? And I think that speaks to just the power of coming together, right? And finding common ground. And I think old people and adults, you know, we get all stuck in this is hard and we can't figure it out. And I call young people all the time and say, how do I do this better? So I'm so glad that they called you and that you had that incredible leadership experience. And Tatiana, you know, policy making, right? This is what Talita is doing. This is what you're doing. You know, building policies is talked about a lot and like involving youth in that. So how do you think that you got into this role that you're in today? And what kind of support systems? Was there a specific opportunity, someone in your life that inspired you? You know, how did this all come to be where you are influencing policy at the, in this ad hoc level?
Honestly, I was just, a girl doing ballet and teaching different little kids how to dance. And then my dance teacher introduced me to my mentor, David Norris, and he has helped me with my journey 1000%. Through him, I also met Richard Branson and actually worked for him, Richard Branson, at his local and nonprofit organization called Unite BVI. And towards the end of my internship, they offered me the opportunity to go to the Girl Up Leadership Summit in 2019. And at first I was like, what is Girl Up? And they explained to me, here's the website, do your research, let me know what you think about it. And if you like to, and if your parents approve of course, we'll take you to Washington, D.C. And I was like, a free trip? I get to learn about this new United Nations Foundation and hopefully meet new friends. And that was the beginning of my advocacy journey. And I am so, so grateful. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, for Girl Up being in my life. And how it has influenced, like even the way that I sort of present ideas to the council, because it's a room full of adults, essentially. I'm the only young person. All of them are from across the sectors of industries in the BVI, from marine tourism to financing to, there's so many adults in the room who are, experts in their field. And so little me, sometimes I have imposter syndrome, but I remember, the things that Girl Up has instilled in me, the development skills. And so I've propounded different theories such as, we want to install a menstrual vending machine in every high school in the British Virgin Islands. And so our club, Girl Up BVI, won an award from the International Baccalaureate organization, and they granted us the financing to make that happen. And the government, with the relationship that I have, it's now easily, formed so that we can put the funding and the ideas and turn it into reality. And so I think, honestly, and it also helps that the premier is also my cousin. Like, this island, this territory is it's very small, but it's very mighty. And so I think once we realize the different gifts that everyone has, the different connections, that's how real change is being evoked.
Yeah, no, I love that, Tatiana. I mean, I hope they're listening to you. You say you're sitting at the table with all the adults and all their expertise, but Talita just showed us that like youth can help. We have different perspectives, new ideas, different ways of seeing the world. I just said we. I wish I was a youth like you. I think I'm an honorary youth, but
what do you mean? You're only 21 years old.
Yes. You all bring a new way of thinking, right? A different level of interconnected advocacy that I think the world needs so desperately. And I hope that your council is listening to you, just like the leaders in Brazil are listening to Talita and her club. And I want to thank you both. I mean, you both inspire me. Tatiana, I have known you for years. Talita, I have been following the menstruation movement of Girl Up Brazil, and I'm so thrilled to honor you both today as our girl heroes, part of 2021. And I want to thank you. And I want to say, keep going. You are the leaders that we need today. And I am here to follow in your footsteps, to lead alongside of you. And I just thank you both for all of the work that you do for girls in your region and around the world. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Miss Melissa.
Thank
Thank you, Talita.